Hey everyone, it's Sergio with the RideShare Guy. I am still not well enough to take trips. As you all know, I had a little bit of a under the weather situation going on, but I'm in the city. I'm in LA. For people who don't know, I'm right next to a place called Beverly Center. People who do know it's a very busy area, although today is Saturday, December 30th. People will be going out tomorrow, so I don't expect anything. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what I feel Upfront Fares is like. And then I'm going to fire both apps up, and let's see if we get anything in the $32 per active hour range, as both CEOs are saying. Last week I did a couple of videos, very popular. None of them were anywhere near $32 per active hour. But today's video is more for what upfront fares means, how I look at trips coming in on both apps. I usually use two phones, but today I'm using one. I'm gonna toggle back and forth. I have my settings go, so there's my Uber app. Looks like I'm pretty close to obviously we're gray areas everywhere in LA, except LAX is $1.75 surge, which is meaningless. It should be surging pretty good though. There's only 31 to 35 cars in queue and 43 flights coming in. And this is where Uber app is helpful as far as positioning yourself. But that's a different story. So I'm gonna fire my Uber app. Pings should be plenty. And then I'm gonna start dissecting that. At the same time, I'm gonna also fire up my Lyft app. And here's my Lyft app, driver app. And let's go with Uber first. So there's one. And fire up my Lyft app. There's two. So basically I toggle back and forth between the two apps. Let's see what I get. Upfront Fares came with one thing that I really appreciate, which is seeing the destination of the passenger, which we did not know for about a decade. But now, after a year and change of it, I am 100% convinced that it has been a rate cut. We are running a lot of polls on our YouTube community page. It's free. Please go vote. There is really important questions that I would like to get a few thousand votes on. It's been on for about a couple, 3 days now. Some of them about a week. Please go vote. Make your voices heard. So my app is on both apps. Like I said, I'm very close to the Beverly Center. Pretty busy area, but being the 30th, I don't expect too many trips. Here's Lyft's trip radar showing me a $9 trip that's 8 minutes away. Let's see what it looks like. The ride is no longer available. It's snapped up. For me, that these all trip radar and Lyft's trip radar is like fear of missing out. But let's go back to Upfront Fares. Upfront Fares was sold to the driver community as a rate rebalancing, meaning they said, this is quote for word. They said the short trips are going to pay a little bit more and long trips are going to pay a little bit less, but overall it should be revenue neutral. How many of you think it has been revenue neutral for you, whoever has Upfront Fares? I do realize there are some cities and states, rural areas, that do not have Upfront Fares, meaning they're driving blind, they don't see where the passenger is going. But I am 100% convinced it's been a rate cut, because the rate rebalancing that they called that exists under Upfront Fares, yes, the short trips may be paying about $1 a mile, maybe a few pennies more, but the medium to long trips are such massive cuts, down to, in some states, 30 to 50 cents a mile now, that one big haircut you receive on those is not going to make up with 10 to 15 short trips that you undertake. And on short trips, it's a lot of stop and go. You're burning a lot more gas as opposed to highway miles. And the problem with the long trips is they're being priced in a way that, yeah, one way it seems like they're pricing right around $30 per active hour, but what about the return trip? I mean, the algorithm is pricing them as if we're guaranteed a return trip coming back from where we started. If I'm 50 miles away from my base and I have to dead mile it back, what good is that? What kind of rebalancing is that? How many more short trips do I have to do in order to balance all this stuff out? Now, I've been talking to you guys for about 4 minutes now, 5 minutes. Haven't gotten a ping from either app. That's the other thing that is all messed up. People talk, CEOs talk all about upfront fares. I have both my apps on. I haven't gotten one single ping. I've been waiting for 5 minutes. The problem with these companies and the CEOs don't understand is that they think we are active, meaning we are on our way to a passenger or with a butt in the back seat all those 60 minutes. Well, where is it? I haven't gotten a ping yet on Uber or on Lyft, right? And so that's the problem. They don't value our time that we're idling, which I am idling right now, waiting, literally parked in the middle of the street, waiting for a request. They do not value that. They say, well, yeah, but you could be on both apps. Yeah, you could be active doing something else. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here, both apps on, haven't gotten one request. And when I don't get the request and 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes goes away, that's eating into my hourly earnings. These people do not understand that. They keep talking about active hour, active hour. Well, sir, I am not active. My apps are on. I'm not getting requests. So where should that 10-minute go? I do realize I'm not supposed to get paid for sitting and waiting. But active hours is a fallacy. When they come up with $32 per active hour nationwide, but if I'm idling half the time, that's $16. That's not $32, right? Well, you guys can attest to it. I've been on for 6 minutes. Haven't gotten one single ping on either app. According to Uber, I'm literally right next to that gray cloud $3 sign. Quite frankly, let's see what it means. It means high earnings forecast. I'm not sure how high of an earnings am I getting here when I don't even get one single lousy ping in 6 minutes. Obviously it's all gamification, all gamblification. I do get it. I understand it. Honestly, I don't mind playing the game. But for me, all of this is hocus pocus. Oh, there is a request. 2 minutes away. Here it is. 26 minutes, 7 miles, $1 about 30 a mile, half hour it's going to take me in LA, $9. How is this $32 per active hour? Anybody can explain that to me? Yes, dollars per mile was about $1.25 a mile, and a lot of people think about, oh, if it's $1 per mile, I'll do it. How do you know it's profitable for you if you don't know your cost per mile? It's called CPM. We talk about that a lot on Show Me the Money Club. We're trying to educate people, but I go, yeah, if it's $1 a mile, I'll take it. Well, sir, this year, the IRS deduction is 67 cents a mile on standard mileage deduction. There's another trip. Here it is, 15 minutes, $4. If I do 3 more of those, I'm going to end up making $16. Where's my 32 per active? But dollars per mile, 2.5 miles total for $4.32. It seems reasonable, right? But what can I buy for $4.32 these days? Not much. And here is another one. Oh, this is the perfect one. Guess what, people? $2.62 is this trip. I can't buy a pack of gum with $2.62. Guess what the minimum fare? This is minimum fare in LA at $2.62. Guess what my minimum fare was in 2015 when I first started? $2.62. 8 years later, inflation soaring, the minimum fare in LA has not changed. I am so glad I got that ping from Lyft. $2.62, Mr. Risher. Where am I going with $2.62? Uber, I'm still waiting. Still no ping. I'm in a busy area according to the gray clouds. So here's my bottom line. Upfront fares to me has been a definite cut. Yes, on short trips, it may be paying $1.25 a mile, but on medium to long trips, it's an absolute hammer. It's a killer. Now, I'm not getting any pings on Uber. I'll give this another shot probably next week when I'm driving and do a few trips. Actually, drive a couple hours each on each app, and let's see what I'm going to be able to earn. But for today, figure out your cost per mile. Don't just look at it as dollars per mile, because dollars per mile could be misleading, just like that $2.62 trip. So I'm going to turn off both apps, and you all have a nice day.